Paul's supposed to be here, right? W?
Congressmen will gather in a circus of delay, while the Constitution's drowning in an ocean of decay. Unwed mothers should be sterilized, I've even heard them say. Yes, corruption can be classic in the Mississippi way. Whoa,
we're doing the same thing we did yesterday, more or less, to get started, because I know some of you guys weren't actually there. God bless you.
Mississippi, find yourself another country to be part of.
That's where we're going. We will do something different today for those of you watching in the stream. Also, leave me a comment if you're here, so I can mark you here.
Where the cross once made of silver now is caked with rust, and the Sunday morning sermons pander to their love.
Hey, Zed, what's going on? You in first hour Algebra 2? Oh, hey. Go for it. Welcome, Paul.
In which God they can trust. Whoa, here's to the land.
Zed's here. Myth gets scaried. Interesting. Alright, hey, Blaze. The system was not meant for this way of taking attendance. You all are marked as present, and I have to mark you purposely absent. Really, I need to mark you all absent, and now mark you, and then go through and purposely mark you. Can't talk. Give up on it. Alright, so Chase is here. Parker's absent today. Macy's here. Bren. What? Yikes. That's not good. Paul is here. Grant is here. Geraldine is here. Anybody seen Brennan this morning? Or is he on A days? Okay, gotcha. That's what I thought. I know some kids are here both days if they want to. Nerds. Yeah. Alright, so Blaze is here online. Is anybody else here online? So, Joe, Carly, Connor, Afton. Afton sent me an email. He wanted to know if I was going to be live today. I am. I just have no face cam because I left my camera at home. I brought it home last night because I wanted to test out some game club stuff, but that just never happened. I have found a solution to my game club dilemma. One, a lot of the ways to do board games and stuff online requires money, and also requires special like game clients like Steam, if you know what that is. And you can't do those on Chromebooks, right? And I'm not making you guys pay money. I want it to be free and open to everybody. But I found this this client called Tabletopia. Card games, all kinds of stuff, and it's all free. Some of it you have to pay to get access to, but if one person pays the premium subscription, which is like $10 a month, then everybody else has access to all the games. So I think that's what we're gonna end up doing. Alrighty, it is time to close the door. So go to bulback.com. Bulb. Go to bulb.com. I'll do well for you. Oh, this mic's not. Oh. Connor, good to see you. Where's your sister? What's her excuse? Afton, Carly, Joe, Jocelyn, where are you? Brennan. We're gonna have to get that Snoop Dogg reference on the stream deck. You guys seen that? Snoop Dogg plays Todd. Where are you? In the breeze, in the wind. No? Wow. Okay. I understand. Isn't that a shame? Isn't that a shame? Internet should be free just like public school. Everyone should get it. It's access to education, and if you don't have it, you're at a disadvantage. That's not fair. Great. Vote for me, 2022. Yeah, sorry for no face game today, guys. So bullbap.com, if you will. Oh, let me, no. No, we'll do it this way, it's fine. It's gonna look gross. We're gonna get some Inception going on here. There we go. All right, cool. Inception. Hi, Carly. We want to go to Bulb. Okay, cool. Oh, I need to log out, don't I? Again. All right, yesterday Bulb was being very, very slow. I don't know if something was going on with their website. Maybe they're owned by the same people that own Zoom. And Zoom shut down for everybody yesterday. Carly is here. All right, so what you're going to do is you're going to go to sign up first. And we're going to attempt something. So recently, Bulb got together with Google Classroom to make things easier. But the problem is that in typical education technology fashion, they announced this new change like a week ago, right before school started. So their whole website is different and all this stuff, which is fantastic for educators, right? Because we planned on something a month ago and now it's all different. We love that. We love that. Very on brand. I'm not sure how to make it gel perfectly, but I'm going to give it this shot. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to go to this page. Everybody there, more or less? People in the class? People at home? You cool? Paul? Unacceptable. Get out. That's me smacking Paul for the people at home. It happened. Paul, you're supposed to go like, ah, stop it, ah! Okay, don't do that. All right, then you're going to fill out your name. Paul. Hi, Afton. I'm glad you're here. Let me mark you here. Look at all your photos. Present. Carly with the updo. Fill out your last name and all that stuff. Try to use your school email, because that should help it link with Google Classroom. Create a username that I'm going to recognize. So, for instance, don't call yourself Myth Gets Scarried or King Crispy or any of that stuff. Okay? Oh, no worries, bud. That way I can recognize you. So, first name, last initial, something like that, or whatever. What's up, Brennan? Glad you guys are tuning in. It'd be illegal to do math this early. Joe and Jocelyn, if you're there, let me know. I'll mark you her. Make sure you fill out your date of birth correctly. You were not born in 2020. Someone did that yesterday, and it said they had to get like parent permission to use this website because they were under a year old. Institution name, put down whatever you want or don't. It's just asking like what school you belong to, essentially. And then for the purposes of this exercise, the country you're from is the United States of America. Don't worry about the promo code because we're not using the paid version of this. And then when it says, I want resources and information to get started on Bulb, do not check that box unless you want ads. Hello, Paul. Bulbapp.com. B-U-L-B as in light bulb. A-P-P as in application.com. No space. No dash. No underscore. No hashtags. You're going to go to sign up. Top right corner. Make sure you click I agree to the terms of use and privacy policy because everybody does, right? Some joke about there being a thing in there that takes your firstborn child, blah, blah, blah. And then hit create account. If you create account and it goes count is already in use or email is already in use, great, fantastic, wonderful. What we want to see. If it doesn't, even better. Hi, how are you? Yeah? Okay. I'm a lot. She's fine. But all the rest of you guys. Poor humans. No promo code necessary. Type in 42069 and see if it gets us free internet something. No, don't. You don't. Okay, I'm on my way. Go online. We will be doing something. No, you don't. Type in Morrison High School. I should terms and conditions. That because it'd be a stop. Yeah. So for your information. Wherever it has a star next to something, see how it's a little asterisk next to like password? That means it's essential. That's pretty common here. How are we doing? Are we? How about people online? Jocelyn, you're here. Jocelyn, I'm so happy. So that means all we're missing is Joe. All right. So once you've done that and you've created an account and it was successful, everything was golden, everything was amazing. Oh, thank God. Thank the Lord. People online, are you doing okay? Are you keeping up with this? Did you get this figured out yesterday? Once you're all taken care of, I'm going to sign into my account so you can see it. Are you on a page? Thank you, Afton. Love the responses, guys. Thank you so much for taking the time to comment and respond to what I'm saying. I really appreciate that. It is not necessary, but it is very helpful. You'll get a page like this, right? It has create page, create collection on it. Are we groovy? Yeah, Paul. Don't worry about that. Yep. Yep. On my way, Paul. Paul is up. All that. Yep. All that. Wagonack. Is it Wagonack? Yeah. Nice. Right? Right. Autumn that graduated is in Autumn Storm. Who? Autumn Kessler? Oh, I love Autumn Kessler. That's my girl. Okay, fair enough. Joe, you're here. Joe, you called yourself Joseph on the thing. Do you honestly prefer Joseph? Because I will call you Joseph. You look like a Joseph, but if you want me to call you Joe, like we discussed yesterday, I will. Joseph, I'm so happy you're here. Do we have 100% attendance with people actually online? That is wild. Absolutely wild. Why can't we hear everyone today? Oh, you can't? You cannot? Here, let me test the mics. Somebody talk. Let me turn off. You over there, say something. You can't hear him? I'll turn him up a bit. Afton, it could be because people aren't being loud. It could be that no one's talking. That's possible. They're not as talkative as you guys. They don't have Carly in their class. All right. So this is your page. It'll look something like this, right? You can make your name. You can do a little profile picture, add a cover image if you took a picture of a field of sunflowers this summer or something, right? If you're a photographer, right? This is your time to shine. Or you can go here and you can go to web search, and they have this thing called Unsplash, which is a stock photo thing. So if you want to search sunflowers, they'll have stock photos. Please load. Don't make me look. Look, aren't these beautiful pictures of sunflowers? 3,210 results, baby. Amazing. Let's try that one more time. Fantastic. Processing error. Yeah, I bet. Let me try one more time. Let me refresh the page. So those of you that have kind of gone through the spiel at home, if you want to start customizing your stuff or writing about what we did yesterday, that's great. So apparently images aren't loading. Fantastic. Down here, you'll notice that I created a little folder. What they call them is collections, essentially. So if I click on this collection, which I called thought problems, I thought it's funny. Anybody else have thought problems? And here we will. All right, and then inside that I have a page that I created. I called it when does 7 plus 7 equal 2. If you're following along at home yesterday, you saw this. If I click on it, I can go to this page. I found a stock image and blew it up. This is peak photographer. Look at that. If you can't see every pixels, I don't want to see it. All right, and then I wrote about that 7 plus 7 equals 2 problem. Right? Some of the things that you guys said. We had one person talk about how you can have 2 7s, right? Welcome to the gun show, right? 2 7s, and if you turn one upside down, you can make it 2 if you overlap them. Right? That's what 7 plus 7 equals 2 means. I did a little thing that shows that. This is an amazing video. This is top notch. I did this on my phone late at night. We're talking like, you want me to erase that, but I'm not going. That's amazing. So you can show videos that you've created literally on your phone, right then and there, or you can upload videos from YouTube or whatever thing you've done to create a video. I highly encourage doing videos of your work. It saves you a lot of time and you can demonstrate a lot. Also, you can kind of talk over it. If you're not the video type of person and you just want to get sound, there's also a way to upload sound onto here. So for instance, if I go to the bottom of this line and then hit enter, I'm immediately prompted with this video, image file, audio, etc., right? And I can click any of these and add that in. So if I wanted to throw some audio on here, I can go like this, right? And I could record / upload and start recording audio right away. And it would drop it right into there. So right underneath here, I could have myself talking about what I talked about above. The idea that we have 7s as an idea, right? Like 2 is an idea, 5 is an idea, right? If we have 2 7s, that means we have 2 ideas. So 7 plus 7 is 2. Okay. Another creative way to think about it. If I don't want this, I can just hit backspace. We talked about the clock thing, right? That's gotten around school by now, I think. Most people have realized that 7 p.m. plus 7 gets you 2 a.m., right? And I found a stock image of a clock that literally is at 7, which is chef's kiss. It's perfect. Now, last night, 2 nights ago, I thought of another one that I don't think anyone has said before, because I do this not every year, but I've done it in the past. 7 days plus 7 days equals 2 weeks. I include a little picture of a calendar. So this is what your portfolio could look like for a certain thing that we do, right? Now, the problem that I gave you, 7 plus 7 equals 2, is a hell of a lot better of a problem than any problem you get in normal math classes, but it's still not that great of a problem, right? So there wasn't a ton to write about. There wasn't a lot of interesting things to do. But even like 10 days from now or 3 months from now, if I come back and think of another one, I can add that on there. And that will count as credit for you for that week, right? I just want you guys thinking mathematically. And there's no such thing as cheating. So if another person gets an idea and you write it down, that's fine, right? I don't care. That's fine. If you're at home talking about this with your family or something, being like, hey, I've got this problem, what do you guys think? You know, and they come up with ideas, take credit for that. I don't care. If you want to source them, you know, down at the bottom, hey, my dad figured this one out or something, go for it. I would appreciate that. I think it's a right thing to do. But it won't change any, whether you get points or not. Points, everything's made up in the points, don't matter. At the bottom, you'll notice there's a little section to write comments. It tells you the number of views. All of them are probably mine. You can even go down here and like it, give a little heart, right? Like you do on Instagram when, your best friend posts a picture, you have to go and like it, otherwise they get upset with you, right? And you have to say, you're so pretty, and then they go, no, you, right? Now, I can't give you, credit for posting stuff like that comment-wise, because that's just a waste of everybody's goddamn time. But good for you. Friendship's important if you have it, and it's really important if you don't, actually. And then I'll give you points for comments. So if someone has a good question in their blog post and you answer it, or maybe you ask a question down in the comments, it's pretty good. As long as you're moving the conversation forward, I'll count that as you doing mathematical thinking, which will count towards your own portfolio grade. I would highly encourage you to look at other people's blogs. I want communication as much as possible, okay? So if you want to leave a comment, go ahead, write Mr. Max Stinks or something, leave me a good meme. I'm always a fan of those. So after you're done, you'll hit publish, and then it'll be available to be viewed by the public. When you do that, you can publish it publicly, or you can hit the X and not have it that way, or it can just be whoever has the link, kind of like Google does, right? We have Google Docs. You can also share it with specific people. So if you've got certain people in the class that you want them to see it, that way they can comment. Like, for instance, if you got a friend and you want to help them out with their grade, right? Be like, hey, I asked a question. Here's an answer you can give me, right? Go for it. The link's right here. You also have tags. So you can put it in different collections that you might have. So maybe this is a thought problem, but it's also an algebra problem, right? Maybe I have a collection called algebra problem. Cool. Down here you can make a template, which is if you make a page, like if I wanted to make an assignment for you guys, like if I had this idea that I wanted you to write about the problem we did yesterday where we gave you 4 numbers and you had to talk about them, and I wanted certain questions answered, I could make a page on here that had all the questions on it and hit create template and then send that to you guys, and then you'd have a template with all the questions on it that you could fill out. Okay, so if you want to make a template for a friend, that's the way to do it. But anyway, when you're done, hit publish. And now it's available for the world to see. Clicking on an image, you can resize it or delete it. Blah, blah, blah. It's pretty user-friendly. That's why I like this one. So we've done 2 things so far. If you were in class yesterday, and by in class I mean not just here, but also at home watching, you notice that we did this problem. We've done the 7 plus 7 equals 2. But we also did this one yesterday, and we've done this in before. So you might recognize this problem if you even weren't here yesterday. I gave you 4 numbers, and we had to talk about which one does not belong. So let me show you what that looks like. Let me get out of the way. There you go. Now, normally I won't like impose my own questions upon you, right? Here's 4 numbers. What do you wonder? What I'll ask, right? What questions might you have? What thoughts might you have? But for now, let's stick with which one doesn't belong and why. So yesterday, if you're watching, you can, remind us of some of the issues or some of the reasons some of these numbers might not have belonged. I don't care if we repeat. But if you come up with new ones, we can talk about that as well. I want to start with that. So people online, if you want to give me some comments about some of these numbers and why they don't belong. People here? Yeah, go ahead. Wait, what's your name? Chase, right? Okay, what's your last name? Newman, that's what I thought. Okay, I'm getting it. Chase Newman, go ahead. Nice. 16 is the only even number. Hey, look at that. Nice job, Ashton. So, again, this is another thing we're doing in class. Anything we do in class, if you want, you can write about it in your portfolio. You don't want to write about it? Great. You do want to write about it? Fantastic. Yeah. At the end of the week. I don't know if this week we'll do it necessarily. We might have on Friday where I meet with you guys and talk about it. Right, so if you have something, we have something to talk about. If you don't, right, it's not like a maybe we won't make this week like a trial period. Guys, everything's made up and the points don't matter. I don't want to give grades. I think they're dumb. I think they discourage you. We've had a conversation, so don't sweat it. Okay, but I'd like to be able to look at your portfolios. If you can get something this week so we can talk about it and get feedback, I think that's a good idea. But no pressure. All right, so 16 is only even. What else we got? I want more answers. Yesterday, people were struggling to find a reason for 25, other than the fact that it's funnier than 24. 9 is single. Who else feels like 9? 9 out of 10. Same joke every day, guys. Here. Give me some more. Thank you, Macy. I know, that's me. That's me. People online, you want to give us something? How about you, Carly? When are you going to get that soundboard working? As soon as I remember to grab the sounds off of my home computer and then bring them here. The problem with doing that is that I don't have any of my monitors at home to use my home computer. Or the ones that I do aren't set up because I've been taking them back and forth between school. I don't have enough nice monitors to run both. Yeah. Hopefully tomorrow. Ooh, 43. Ooh, okay. How about we call it this? 43 isn't square. So what we mean by that, for those of you playing along at home, is that 9 can be rewritten as 3 squared, 3 times itself, right? 3 times 3 is 9. 16 is 4 times 4, or 4 squared. 25 is 5 times 5, or 5 squared. 43 is not, right? It's not a square number. 6 squared is 36, right? 6 times 6. If we go another higher, 7 times 7, that's 49. So we skipped 43, right? We went from 36 up to 49. 43 got left behind. It must be somewhere between 6 and 7 squared, like 6 point something squared, right? Now we call these squares instead of like to the 2nd power or the 5th power, right? You can call them that. But we call them squares because the idea is that if you have a square that has area 9, the sides of that square would have to be 3 by 3, right? We call it squaring a number, putting a number on a square. Most of you guys have learned about this more or less. Some of you haven't, but most of you that have learned about this never realized why it was called squaring, which just, again, blows my mind if it doesn't blow yours. And then when you cube a number, that's when you take a cube and put numbers on its side. So if we do 3 here for this length, we do a 3 here for the height. This pen does not belong. And a 3 here for the width. What we get is 3 by 3 by 3 for that cube. 3 times 3 is 9, right? We figured that out earlier. Times that by 3, 27. So the volume of this cube would be 27, right? And that's why we say like cubic feet, right? Or square feet for area. The idea is that if this is 3 feet and that's 3 feet, 3 times 3 is 9. What's feet times feet? Anything times itself is squared, right? 3 times 3 is 3 squared, right? 4 times 4 is 4 squared. What's feet times feet? Nice, feet squared. Literally the units, they pop up on their own. It's not just made up. How do you know we're talking about feet squared? Because if you do the math, that's what works out. It's not that, oh, you just got to remember to throw it on there, right? When I said the other day, and I might not have said it in this class, because I do this class 4 times a day, twice back to back, right? It all blends together, but I might have said this in this class. I'm not big on the, your answer's wrong because you didn't include watermelons, right? You said it was 10 instead of 10 watermelons. I hate that garbage. Why? Because generally, it's just to mark you wrong, to say like, ah, ha, 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 right? And it doesn't really add any context. If we're talking about watermelons, I don't need to include watermelons. Just like if I'm talking about you, I don't need to use your name always. I can say she or her, right? Depending on what your pronouns are, right? If we're all talking about watermelons, when I say there's 10 of them, you know I mean watermelons, right? Now, I am big on units to show where they come from, right? There's an understanding here. This isn't just memorization or remembering to put feet squared at the end. This is showing that I know that feet times feet is going to be feet squared, just like anything times anything is itself squared. When we come up with equations to describe the universe, and we come up with like E equals mc squared, energy equals mass times the acceleration of light. When we figure out all the units for each, mass is, you know, in newtons or kilograms, right? Energy is in joules or whatever, and then maybe speed of light is feet per second squared, right? When we do all the math, some units cancel out, right? They go away, and some units get doubled or whatever, or squared. And when we're done, that's how we know what we have. So if you do mass times acceleration of light, mass is kilograms. Acceleration of light is feet, thank you, per second squared. Feet is feet per second, right? Acceleration is actually feet per second squared. It's how fast you're going every second, like how much you're increasing it. So you get seconds times seconds, seconds squared in the bottom. Okay, I'm not teaching you this, we're just discussing it, so if you're a little lost, it's okay. Just try to stick with me. Okay? And so when we look at this, this is the amount of mass moving at a certain speed, right? Mass moving, that's energy, right? I'm a mass, and I'm moving. That's me using energy. And so when we saw this equation, we're like, oh, that means that's energy. Mass times the acceleration of light, or c, squared. Squared is where this comes from. That must be energy. That's more or less how Einstein comes up with this stuff. How else? It couldn't be anything else, right? That's what this means. In math, oftentimes we'll get equations and we'll solve them, right? We'll solve for x and we'll call it a day. But we never think about what x means. And if we do, it's, oh, it means watermelons. In here, we're really going to talk about what things mean. When you see this equation, E equals mc squared, what does it mean? What is it talking about? What is it telling us? How can we think about it? And when you do that, you don't need to be good at calculation. You don't need to be good at PEMDAS to figure it out. You can just look at it and know it. We're going to talk more about that in a little bit. Okay? For now, let's go back to here. Square numbers. Excellent. 43 is not a square number. 16 is even. 9 is single. If you have more reasons for 9, 16, or 43, feel free to chime in, guys. And again, I'm sorry for no face cam today. No, it's the moneymaker. It's the reason people show up. 25. If we can't think of one, that's okay. And if we need to get some silence for you just to, think and just relax, we can do that too. I'll give you a little bit of time. Again, don't feel like you need to neglect these three because we already have an answer. More answers is always better. People at home, this goes for you as well. I would encourage you to write about this one. I think this is a pretty good problem. Go home and talk to your parents about it. Go home and talk to your brothers, sisters, friends. See if they can come up with it. Y'all are sitting at lunch, can't sit next to each other. Do this. I used to be on lunch duty last year, and I'd bring like board games and card games and stuff, and kids would play. We can't do that this year, unfortunately. But, I don't know. Nice little puzzle. I'll shut up for the next like 5 minutes. Do some thinking. Or some typing if you don't want to think. If you're like, I'm bored. Work on your portfolio. I've got another problem coming up next. This will be a new one for those of you following along at home. Everybody still here on the webs? On the interwebs? Sorry. Mark Juliana, baby. Great drummer. Like we still have Afton. Anybody else still there? Joe/Joseph. I can't trust you. How about Carly, or did she dip? Pro tip, if you can get on Twitch, it is faster. The delay time is less. But if you can't, I understand why. Chromebooks won't let you do it. All right, good to see you guys, Carly and Brent. Get creative. Think about these numbers in every sense. Did you guys hear Macy online? Whether you did or you didn't, what she said is this. She noticed that the digits 2 and 5 add up to 7. The digits 4 and 3 add up to 7. The digits 1 and 6 add up to 7. Technically, there's a 0 here, right? As many zeros as you want. 0 and 9 does not add up to 7. So 9's digits don't sum, right? Sum means add up, right? 7. Nice job, Macy. I was wondering when someone would see that one. That one's one of my favorites. Give you guys a little more time. I'm thinking about some too. I used to know one for 25. I can't think of it now. I do notice that there's 2 numbers missing here. What 2 numbers are missing? You don't need to raise your hand, you dork. Go ahead. Seven and 10. What about 8? What about 11? I want to revise your answer. No. You did a great job. You're fine. 10. If we're allowed to like grab numbers together, you know what I mean? Right? Because like if we aren't allowed to grab numbers, then 11 isn't there, 12 isn't there, 13. You know what I mean? Right? But if we can mix and match, there's a 1 here and a 0 technically. Right? So assuming we're allowed to mix and match, 10 is there, right? It's just hidden. And if we aren't allowed to mix and match, then it becomes a little less interesting, right? Because lots of numbers aren't there then, right? But 8 and 9, when it comes to digits, I suppose, aren't. But good job. Good job. Guys, there are no wrong answers. And when I mean that, I don't mean that, like, you can't say something that isn't true. Like, what you said is true depending on how you look at it, right? And if you look at it another way, it's not. There are no wrong answers. When I say that, I'm not trying to be, all happy rainbows and sunshine. That's not me, okay? What I mean is that every answer that you give me, every response you give me, leads to discussion. There are interesting answers and not interesting. Yours was interesting because we got to discuss about it. 7 plus 7 equals 14. That's true, but is it interesting? No. That's right. 7 plus 7 doesn't equal 2, right? Sure, you're right, but it's not interesting. Unless you want to argue that it is, then we can have a conversation and that becomes interesting. Right? But that's what we're interested in. Interesting answers, I suppose. Okay, let's stop with this one for a second. I've got another problem for you guys. So people at home, if you're ready, here's another one. This is 9, 16, 25, and 43 problem, right? If you want to write about that, okay? I would encourage it. I think it's a pretty good one. Mm-hmm. Let me show you what I did, and I'll walk through it slowly because I kind of went through it quickly. I sent you guys a link on Google Classroom to the page that I created for the 7 plus 7 problem. So if you want to check that out on your own time, you can. But when I say write about it, what I mean is something like this, right? What might first seem like a mistake can lead to much more interesting thinking. I began class asking this question, and again, this is from the teacher's perspective. I'm writing about your ideas. Well, it's not a very good one. It's a hell of a lot better than most questions that get asked in math class, right? Kind of got a spiel, as you can tell. After my students got past the fact that 7 plus 7 does not, in fact, equal 2, here's what they came up with. One student said, what if plus doesn't mean what we know it to mean? Perhaps it means we combine the 7s to make a 2. If we rotate one 180 degrees, right, and then overlap the stems, we would produce a 2. So on and so forth, right? Give me something interesting. It's like writing an article almost on the idea. Talk me through your reasoning and your process. Maybe even if you can't say, I know this, say, here's what I don't know, and here's what I'm confused about. You know what I mean? Let me inside your head. The next problem I want to look at is this, although we might be out of time. Yeah, we are out of time. Okay, we'll look at another one later. So thanks for staying online, guys, even though we didn't get to a whole lot new. Check out this page on Google Classroom if you want to see what writing like this can be about. Again, it's not a great example because it's not a great problem, but it's a decent problem. See you guys tomorrow for Wednesday. I will make sure I have the soundboard up and running Wednesday, and especially the face cam, because I know that's why you come to class, for this baby right here. Get out of here, dorks. Bye. Chase. Macy. Paul. Bye, everyone online. I can do that, Afton. Aren't you on Discord, Afton? Hey, what's up? I don't need to know that. I'm gonna spray your desk down. Hey, baby. What's up? Grab some napkins. I'm not gonna pass out cold. Can I go to the tech office real quick? Yeah, please. Hello. Go. Wait, you're dead. never realized how important the bottom of the page is. I had to really walking down the hallway. I had no idea if I and then they're like. How are you? Music in the night. Annie's here. Corinne's here. Wonderful. Fantastic. Excellent. Unlike last time, Corinne. Glad you've decided to show up. Alright. Mark everybody absent, and then go back and mark people present. Darren, I sent you a message about To Be Kind. Fantastic album. Great band. Unfortunate lead singer. I think McCartney's the cutoff. So McCartney's here. Ethan Schrader is here. Jace is here. Sarah Weston is here. You don't have a picture in here, Sarah. Haley's here. Hi, Haley. All right, let's go through the list. So Corinne is here. I can't believe you guys are here. This is so great. Jaden is here. Kershaw. Blake Adams with the pyramid face. Oh, dude, Blake, you're on Discord, aren't you? I recognize that image. Carter Johnson's here. Get out your Chromebooks, guys. We're going to bulbapp.com. It's what we did online yesterday if you were with us. If you weren't, that's okay. B-U-L-B as in light bulb. A-P-P as in app.com. No underscore, no dash, no space, none of that. Just bulb app. Annie's here. Darren is here. Corinne is here. Campbell, Olivia, Shion, Marissa, Katie, Lauralee, are you here? Mika's here. Let me know if you guys are. Yeah, Mike should be working. Yeah, Afton mic should be working if people are talking, because I'm getting readings on all the mics. Is my mic sound okay? I don't have my usual, like on my main computer at home, I have much nicer like vocal processing stuff to make it not sound so crappy or have like, you know, pick up the AC or whatever. But I don't have that here, so I'm using stock stuff. Hopefully the sound is all right. And again, sorry for no face cam today. Campbell's here, awesome. Still missing Olivia and Shion. Yeah, just Olivia and Shion. Okay. Yeah, I think it's because they're not talking or they're being very quiet. I will turn up the gain. If it sounds like the air conditioning a ton, because when I turn up the gain it messes up all my settings, let me know. Thanks for the feedback, guys. I really appreciate it. Marissa's here. Olivia's here. Awesome. Everybody here. 2 classes in a row. Wonder how long that'll last. Oh, we're missing Lauralee. And Katie, are you here? Did I miss Katie? Right, well, I won't hit submit yet. Okay, so bulbapp.com. If you're following along at home, this is the same thing we did in class yesterday. If you want to give it another old college try if you didn't get it, I will be doing new stuff today, God willing. So just hang in there. Lauralee's here. Awesome. Oh my God. We're 1 away from perfect attendance, 2 classes in a row. We are 1 away. If anybody knows Katie, wake her up. Anybody friends with Katie in here? I'll hate Katie. Gion's here. Yeah, I think it's just Katie that we're missing. Let me double check. I keep saying there's only 1 person that I'm wrong. Yeah, I only have Katie marked absent right now. You're actually down to one person. Yeah, we're going on bulbapp.com, bulbapp.com. Everybody in class there? Awesome. Yesterday, the website for Bulb was not working. Katie's here. Is that a weenie dog? Guys, soundboard will be up tomorrow when we do the fully remote day. I promise. I just got to remember to grab the stuff from. All right. So, bulbapp.com. Everybody's there? Everybody good? Gucci? Bulbapp? Okay, that's cool. Take your time. Thank you for answering my question, Katie. What am I doing right now? I'm doing this. Okay, I need to log out. So the first thing you're going to do if you haven't done this before, disclaimer. So a couple weeks ago, this website partnered with Google, so it locks in with Google Class. The problem is that when I was looking at this stuff, it didn't. And so now that I have to teach you to sign up, it's a little bit different, and I don't know exactly what I'm doing. We're going to learn together, isn't it? Okay, so click sign up. And what you're going to do is you're going to fill out this form anywhere that has an asterisk by it. Okay, so for instance, it says your role and it has an asterisk next to it. You need to feel that. You need to fill that out. So click on it and choose student. There's really no difference between all the other roles, but please do student. Yours still doesn't work. Okay, well, we're going to troubleshoot it. Follow me today and see if we can come up with anything different, Corinne. So go to student, fill it out, first name, last name, email. Use an email that, use your school email, preferably, because that's what I use to link to Google Classroom. Username, make sure it's something that I can recognize. So like Jace, you could do jace.w or Jace Wagner or jace.wagner or whatever. Just do whatever it takes to make sure it's visible to me so I know who you are and it's not already taken, right? Password, confirm password, that's your own business. Date of birth, make sure you don't put that you were born this year in 2020. Somebody did that and then they had to sign like a consent form by their parents and they forged it. Don't be 1 year old. That's all I ask. For the purposes of this exercise, your country will be the United States of America. Don't worry about the prepaid slash promo code. We're not using the paid version, so you don't need it. Where it says, I want resources and information, don't click that button. It's just going to send you crap, okay? If you do click it, do click terms and use, right, that you accept it, and then hit create account. Friend, try signing into yours. See if that works. This is where we're going to do our portfolio. So, since it's pretty much our only grade in the class. Corinne, if you're still having issues, get it figured out. Everything's made up of the points, don't matter. We're going to have like a test run this week. So if you can write something in your portfolio, I would like that. But again, it's not required. This week we will have a conversation, hopefully, fingers crossed, between me and you about what you wrote, kind of give you the experience. No pressure. Everybody home doing okay? The problem with YouTube is you can't do emotes. At least not very well. But if you guys want to spam emotes, go ahead. Do we have to stay on? So Annie, I'm going to do stuff at the end of class. That's going to be a little bit different, God willing. Hopefully I get there. That you can write about. So I would encourage you to stay on, but you don't have to. It's up to you. I'm gonna be honest, I can't, make you stay here once you've checked in. And I'm not gonna try to. You do you. Right? If you do that every day or a certain number of days, you're just not gonna have a lot in your portfolio at the end of the week, which gives you less of a ground to argue for a grade. But if you're on Twitch, you can do emotes. Yeah, I don't mind spamming, guys, it's okay. As long as it's not obnoxious while someone else is trying to ask a question. It's kind of like class, right? We don't need to raise our hands if we're just all having a discussion, but if somebody else wants to talk and we're all talking at once, then we gotta calm down. Eventually we'll have their voices coming out of these speakers if they want to ask questions. So we can all talk together. Alright, how's it going, people in the class? Are we good? We Gucci? Good from yesterday, right? Yeah, you guys did what you needed to do. Ethan, you good? Rad. How about you, McCartney? Yeah, thumbs up. Oh, thank you. It says everything is fine with my information. It's just not letting me hit the create account button. Okay, interesting. Interesting. We'll figure it out for you, Corinne. Okay, just hang tight. So after you've created an account, you should be at a page that looks like this. Let me sign into mine. Yeah, so you should have a little like banner at the top like this with your name. I put a little badge here. That's my Twitch badge. That means does not exist in the real numbers. It's a math term, right? Not a real math teacher. You can add a cover image. Earlier I wasn't able to do this, but you can go here and load any image you want. So if you took a picture of sunflowers this summer, because you're a photographer and you want to upload it to your banner, now's your chance to shine, baby. Or you can go to web search, and they have Unsplash, which is, and it's free, a bunch of stock photos that you can have access to. So if you search, hopefully this will work. Their website's been kind of screwy the last couple of days, I think, because everybody's getting on it. There'll be, 3,000 some results that pop up of high quality images, or at least they are when they load. Top-notch stuff. All right, you can upload an image. Down here, you can click create a page or create collection, right? And if you create a page, it's just like a new entry into your portfolio, right? It just gives you a free document page where you can put all kinds of stuff. We'll talk about that in a second. Or you can hit create collection, and it'll create like a folder. So I created a folder. I called it Thought Problems, because who doesn't have thought problems? Am I right? Click it, and you'll go here to my folder, Thought Problems, and you can tell me about the collection here. Right? Fantastic. And if you go here to my first page, I created a page. I called it When Does 7 + 7 = 2? You can click on that, and you can get this page. I put in a nice little banner with a little title. I zoomed in super crazy on this image so you could see every pixel. That is a pro photographer move. You want to see every pixel. That's the game. No laughing, please. And then I wrote about the 7 + 7 = 2 problem. So when you write about it, this is what I'm looking for. I'm going to read this out loud. I know it's kind of annoying. You can read it on your own. I put a link in Google Classroom for you to see this page if you want it as an example. I'll be honest, 7 + 7 = 2 is one of the worst problems I'll have this year, God willing, right? Maybe I'll have worse on accident. But I do think it's a lot better than most math problems, as you'll see when I write about it. So what might first seem like a mistake can lead to much more interesting thinking is what I entitled this, right? I changed the font here. If you highlight, you can change it to whatever you want. If you click this T, it'll give you options for header 2, header 3, etc., right? And the bigger you want it, like the bigger H2, H3, etc., you'll choose, right? Change the color, etc., etc. You've got all kinds of fonts. Put in a hyperlink, put in a list, bullets, etc. I began class asking this question. While it's not a very good one, it's a hell of a lot better than most questions that get asked in math class. Yes, you can cuss in this. Well, I put it in there. I do everything on purpose. After my students got past the fact that 7 + 7 does not = 2, here's what they came up with. What if the plus sign doesn't mean what we know it to mean? Perhaps it means we are to combine the 7s to make a 2, right? I made the joke yesterday. You have 2 7s like this, welcome to the gun show, right? You put them together like this, they overlap and make a 2. I tried to make a video on my phone late at night showing that. You can upload videos of higher quality if you have better cameras and stuff. I just did this on my phone. It's just really, really great. I love it because I don't erase that, and you really want me to. Look, they overlap. Isn't that beautiful? It's so clear now. When you can include pictures and you can include a video or voice or whatever, I encourage you to do it, right? That's top-notch quality stuff. Alternatively, one might think that each 7 is its own idea or entity. One idea plus another idea is 2 ideas. Or maybe those 7s aren't really 7s, but just badly drawn 1s. I got that one a lot. Then again, if it's 7 o'clock and 7 hours pass, well, it's 2 o'clock, isn't it? And I gave you a little clock that actually has it on 7. Right? Went over this yesterday. One of my students suggested that 7 + 7 is 2 7s, so if we had 3 7s, it would = 3. Right? This is me writing about my thought process, although it's really yours, right? Because I'm the teacher in this aspect. But even if you don't come up with the idea, you're more than welcome to write about it. If you want to source them on there, hey, Ethan the other day said that 7 days plus 7 days is 2 weeks. If you want to do that, great. You're still going to get credit for it for writing about it. Okay. I included a little calendar here. That's cute. Down at the bottom, we have a little comment area. You can leave me memes or, say, you so pretty, and then I'll respond with no you, like you do on Instagram, right? Otherwise, you're not friends anymore or something like that. You can leave a little like. If you leave a comment, as long as it's moving the conversation forward, right, by asking a question or answering a question, or pointing out some interesting thing about the problem or about the topic that they're writing about, I will give you credit for that at the end of the week. Okay? Moving the conversation forward, having those conversations is important. I want math to be something that's communal. Okay? So leave comments. When you're done, you'll hit publish, and you can choose to publish it public. If not, hit the little X, make it private, and then you can search it or share it with specific users as well. If you got a friend in this class or another, or even that aren't in any of my classes, but you just want them to comment, right? To build engagement and talk about, you know, what the problem is. You can send them that link. And here's the link. You can put it in different collections here, give it a title, a summary, etc. You can also make a template. So if you have like a bunch of different questions that you want people to answer, like if I'm a teacher and I've got 10 questions, instead of just saying, hey, I want you to write about these 10 things, I can make a template, send you that page. It'll have the 10 questions on it, and then you can fill it out. That's what that's about down here at the bottom. But anyway, I'll hit publish, and now it's available for everybody to see, and it's on my page. What hour is it? It is third hour, correct? Second hour, Zach. So not yet, bud. Where do you write at? What do you mean, Annie? So if you go to make a new page, I think this is what you mean. Correct me if I'm wrong. So I'll create a page that's in this folder, right? And yesterday we talked about this problem. It was 9, 16, 25, 43. Which one doesn't belong? You just click here and you can start typing. Notice that this pops up: video, image, file, audio, etc. So you can throw in audio if you want of yourself talking. You can record it immediately or grab it from your drive or whatever. Just start recording if you have a microphone, which all of you guys do, right, on your Chromebooks. I would encourage you to use audio and video. Those are really useful tools. They're really good for explaining, right? And a lot of this is explanatory. If you start typing, right, 9 doesn't belong. Typing is hard because it is single, just like me, right? If you hit enter, it'll prompt this again. So you can put in video, image, whatever you want. I don't have my camera today. If I did, I'd take a picture of me and put it right below. I think that's top-notch writing. Just kidding, I'm not single. Sorry, ladies and guys. Cooper's here. Cooper, you're a bit early, I think. We're all full up. This is second hour, my dude. But you're welcome to stick around. But anyway, that's where you would write. Annie, did that answer your question? Was that what your question was? I'm good at answering questions, just not always the question that you want me to answer. But anyway, I'm not going to publish this. I'm going to go back here. I'll publish later. And save it as a draft. See how it's saved here without actually being visible to anybody? Cool. So that's how the portfolio is going to work. I don't want to say super easy to use because maybe you disagree or maybe you've got issues. But from what I've seen that's available, this is the easiest way to do stuff. Okay. The other alternative really for ease of use was Google Class. Awesome, Annie. Thank you for the response. Or not Google Class, Google Docs. And Google Docs is cool and everything, and you guys are used to it. But it's kind of ugly to look at because it's like, here's my portfolio, and it's a folder full of a bunch of files, right? Ain't nobody got time for that. I want to be able to flip through and, you know, look at different things. But if you want to use something else other than Bulb, you're like, I hate this is garbage, we can talk about it, okay? This is a democracy. I'm just giving you the first option. If you don't like it, we can talk, okay? All right, cool. So, yesterday the problem we talked about, for those of you that didn't know, and I'm going to look at it real quick, was this one, 9, 16, 25, 43. I'm going to talk about it real quick, and then we're going to jump into a new problem today, okay? And the question was, which one doesn't belong? And I don't think anybody came up with a reason for 25 not belonging other than it's the only number funnier than 24. SpongeBob reference. My kids from last year know that one. They think it's so funny. Look at them. Just chuckling. Sitting there chuckling it up. So, 9 is the only single number. Anybody in here remember something from yesterday or want to add some new ones that maybe they've thought about? Give me another reason another number doesn't belong. People online, you're more than welcome to speed up this process by giving us some answers. Yeah. Gotcha. So 43 is not a square number. You guys know why they call them square numbers? You do. You were in my class last year. You remember. But most people that know that, oh yeah, square means times it by itself, if you know that. Some people get confused. I think it's times 2. Whoops. Don't know why we call it squaring. And the idea is that 9 squared is 3 times 3, right? So if you have a square that has area 9, the sides will, of course, be 3 by 3 if it's a square, right? So squaring a number means to put it on a square, whereas cubing a number means putting it on a cube. I always draw that side too far out. So you might have a width of 3, a height of 3, and a depth of 3. So we have 3 by 3 by 3. 3 cubed, right? This is 3 squared. And so we have 27, whereas this is 9. Yeah, help him out. Thank you. None of the numbers belong. 43 is prime. Oh, nice, guys. Thank you so much. I'm sorry I missed that. Yep. 43 is prime. Yeah, so it's not just not a square number, but it's also prime, meaning that there are no factors other than 1 in itself, right? So we have lots of different reasons. Try to find 25 if you can. That one's pretty tough. If you can find more reasons for 9, 16, and 43, there are a lot more. That's great. The more you write about, the better. If you could go home and talk about this with your friends, your parents, whoever, your brothers and sisters, and they come up with reasons, write about it. Not cheating. I encourage you to go home and talk about this stuff. When your parents ask you, what did you do today? Talk about this. This problem's simple enough that even they can understand it. Seriously. Which one doesn't belong and why? Okay? There are numbers. Numbers are hard, man. I've got a new problem today. So if you want to start paying attention, if you were, fully paid attention yesterday and you're like, oh my God, why did I attend yesterday? Well, here's why, because today we're going to do something slightly different. I've got this problem for you. And you're like, oh great, here it goes. It begins. That's a 0. Relax, okay? So much time in math is spent solving for x or u or whatever variable, right? And we do this and we call it doing math, right? And that's it. We find u, it equals a number, and we're good to go. Unless u stands for watermelons, and then we have to write like 10 watermelons instead of 10. Now, I'm not big on that. I do think units are important if you understand where they come from. For instance, back here, if this was 3 feet by 3 feet, 3 times 3 is 9, yeah? What's feet times feet? Yeah. It's feet squared. Why? Because someone told you that? No, because you use logic. I know anything times itself means squared, right? 3 times 3 is 3 squared. 4 times 4 is 4 squared. 5 times 5 is 5 squared. X times x, x squared. Feet times feet must be feet squared. That's why when we represent area, we use feet squared. Not because we made it up and so it's like, you had to say it. You had to put watermelons at the end, otherwise we're not going to know what you're talking about. No, it's because it naturally comes up. Now, do I want you to write watermelons at the end of your problem if we're talking about watermelons? Not really, as long as I know you're talking about watermelons. For instance, if I'm talking to you guys about Jace, do I need to use his name every single time? No, I can use pronouns, right? So if Jace's pronouns are he, I can talk about he or him, right? Or I can say that bozo, and we'll all know who I'm talking about, right? That guy, the kid with the hair and the shoes. As long as we all know, I don't need to say it. Now, it's good to say it because someone I don't know, right? Maybe I just met you, right? And I don't know your name, and I keep saying her, and you start to wonder, does he really know my name? If we need to show understanding, it's good to include units and good to include names. But it's not necessary if we already know what we're talking about, okay? So I'll mark you down for missing stuff like that, but I will give you points. Everything's made up in the point. I will give you points if you include it. Because it shows an understanding, especially if you can explain why feet times feet is feet squared. But anyway, Miko, what did you say? U has to add up to the 6 squared so it can be subtracted and equals. Ooh, yeah! We're thinking about what it means, baby. All right. The question I'm going to ask is not what does U equal. I'm going to ask what does it mean? What is it saying? What are we talking about here? Bunch of junk equals 0, right? So whatever happens over here, it needs to equal 0. Mika, you are absolutely right. I know, I smell what you're stepping in. Okay. I bet this doesn't seem like too much of a bunch of junk. This right here, right? That part right there. Can we handle negative 32? Okay, okay, cool. So we have bunch of junk minus 32 equals 0. What does that tell you about the bunch of junk? Bunch of junk minus 32 equals 0. What does that tell you? People at home, play along. I know you'll be a little bit behind, and I apologize, but yeah. What do you mean? Hell yeah. A bunch of junk minus 32 is 0. So we know the bunch of junk must be equal to 32, right? So, hard problem. We just came up with an easier one. We know that U minus 6 quantity squared. We don't say parenthesis, close parenthesis, because it's a mouthful. Say quantity, okay? It tells you it's an idea. Like 4 is a quantity, it's its own idea, right? 7 is a quantity, it's its own idea, right? This is treated as its own idea squared. So something squared, right? Something squared must equal 32. It has to, right? 32 minus 32 equals 0, right? That's the only way it can be true. So something squared equals 32. What does that tell us about this something? What must this something be, the U minus 6? This is a little bit of a harder question, and by harder I mean if you don't know, you don't know. What must be true about this in here? Think of this as something squared equals 32. Easier question. What if this was something squared equals 36? What would we know about the something? Yeah, it has to be 6, right? 6 squared would be 36. So something squared equals 32. Well, what is something squared equals 30? What something, when you square it, gets you 32? Not a nice number, right? We know that because 5 squared gets us 25, right? That's a little too low. Go up one higher. 6 squared gets us 36, too high. So it's like 5 point something, right? Decimals are a waste of time. You know why? Because if you need decimals, right, you have to get out a calculator and do it, and that wastes your time. If you need a specific answer, right, because, oh, I need it specific, I need it down to whatever, right? Well, if you need it specific, decimals go on forever a lot of the time, and this one will. So you can't be specific. Eventually you have to round. Yeah? And if you have to round, you're estimating. If you're estimating, then why are you using a calculator? It's 5 point something. You smell what I'm stepping in here? It's a waste of time, right? If you want a specific answer, leave it as 5 point something, or better yet, leave it as root 32. Don't pop that in a calculator. That's the exact answer. Now, what does root 32 mean? Root of a number means what number times itself gets me the number inside here. So like root of 16, what number times itself gets me 16? 4, right? And that turns out to be a nice number. The perfect square is what we call that. If you root 16, if you take a square of 16, its root is 4. Because its side is 4. Okay? Now, if I had a square of 32, we're not going to get nice numbers. It's going to be like 5 point something over here, yeah? We just call that root 32 as its root. Right? What's the root of 32? Root 32. What's the root of 101? Root 101. Ain't nobody got time for that. What's the root of 100? Oh, 10, right? If I can simplify it, make it simpler so you can understand it and grasp what it is, then I'll do it. And if I can't, then I won't. So what's the root of 32? Because when I square it, right, if I put root 32 on a square, root 32 times root 32 is 32. So all this junk must be root 32. So now we have an even easier problem. We know that u minus 6 must be root 32. Remember we say must be? We mean equals, right? It is. U minus 6 is root 32. They're one and the same. Just like Jace earlier was that guy. They're one and the same. The kid with the hair. So now we have an easier problem. And we haven't even done any algebra. Sort of. Well, now we're here. Is -6 like, a bunch of junk? I can't think about that. No, you can think about -6, right? We're there. We're there. You with me? So this is the bunch of junk. Bunch of junk minus 6 must equal root 32. What does that tell us about the bunch of junk? What must this be, this bunch of junk right here? That's a hard question. Is it 6? No, what would happen if this was 6? 6 minus 6 equals 0, right? So it's not 6. Is it bigger or less than 6? U. Is it going to be bigger or less than 6? Well, if it was 5, what would it be? -1, a negative number, right? And we're going the wrong direction, right? It's got to be bigger than 6 because there has to be a bit left over. How much left over? What's root 32 approximately? What numbers is it between? Root 32 is between what two numbers? Yep, between 5 and 6. So it's like 5 point something, right? So after we take a number and subtract 6 from it, we want about 5-ish left over. Some number minus 6 gets us 5-ish left over, right? So 11-ish is what it's going to be. We didn't do any algebra. We just thought. It's about 11-ish, right? Because this whole thing has to be 32, which means this bit, u minus 6, must be root 32. And then we have to have a little bit left over, so it's going to be 6 plus whatever root 32 is. That's about 5, so it's going to be about 11. You want an exact answer? Okay. It's whatever 6 plus a little bit more is. Could you plug that in a calculator and get a decimal? Sure, but would it ever end? No. Would you have to round? Yeah, so why waste your time? People online, how you like them apples? It's about 11. Now, we didn't do algebra, but then again, yeah, we did. Let's follow PEMDAS. What do you do first? How do you solve a problem like Maria? You do what first? Parentheses? That's what PEMDAS says, right? What do I do with the parentheses? We're already lost. You could do parentheses first. There are no rules. However, there's an easier way of doing it. And when we think in terms of easiness, right? This is a bunch of junk. Let's work with this. Then we come up with much faster, easier answers. What were you going to say? Jace, you're not wrong. Do you see another way of doing it? Bunch of junk minus 32. Add 32 to both sides. Right, that's what they teach you in algebra class. Isn't that what we did? This bunch of junk must equal 32 because they must equal 0, right? Isn't that what we wrote? Dude, we're doing algebra without even having to be taught it. That's learning. That's understanding. Okay, so now what do we do? If I ask that, you're confused, but what did we do before? A bunch of junk squared must be 32. So this must be root 32. We rooted both sides. Mind blown. Well, what must this be? Well, it must be bigger than 6, right? Because when we subtract 6, a little bit's left over. Add 6 to both sides. Nobody has to teach you that. Use your brain. PEMDAS is a lie your teacher told you. Not because it's not true, but because it's mostly true. And it gets the job done if you follow the steps. But no thinking is required, only memorization. You don't know why you're doing what you're doing, you just know you're doing it. And sometimes you get confused. Parentheses first. You can. But why? Save it for last. That's the weird part. I don't want to touch that until I have to. I'll root at the last moment. That is math. That is how you think. What I want you to do, if you feel so inclined, if the spirit is within you, okay? Come up with your own equation. Solve it your way, using the way I did, right? The way of thinking. Don't think about PEMDAS, think about ideas. Write about it. Write about your process. I don't care if it's wrong. Write about your process. People online, take care. Yeah, you can put it in the portfolio if you want, Annie. Sorry I missed your question. Bye. I'll miss you. Great day. No smiling, it's math class. Thank you. It gonna be good this year. It gonna be real good. Nice job today, kid. If you stick with me the whole time, you're gonna be killing them. Sit back. Here, bud. What are you looking at?
So cold in here, Mac.
Face looks better this year, Kate. Something about the, I don't know, something about it. That better. Morning.
I'm freezing. I didn't bring my jacket. I just wanted to, like, I'm wearing all. I didn't bring it. My shirt. It's like 90 degrees outside of the heat index. I don't care what it is. I'm stupid. I don't have any room in my backpack.
I woke up at 5 today thinking it was like 7, and it's like I
I don't know much for you in here, and you're like, okay, I guess I'm missing art.
I need breakfast.
Try not to make a habit of it because of Corona and all that stuff, but yeah, do what you gotta do. What's up, Zach? Bye, Theron. Bye, Olivia. Put it back on. Come on. We gotta make it the end of this week, and then the governor is gonna tell us to go home, I think. Make it at the end of this week. We make it at the end of this week without getting anybody sick. That would be great. Especially me. We gotta take care of my grandmother. I know. Imagine somebody that is that wants to take it. What am I gonna say? Sorry, she's not sick.
okay.
YouTube.
I love it.
There's a comment thing. Nice. Okay, we'll figure it out. In trouble not being here? What? Don't put it. First week, no one's gonna get. Everybody's gonna be. It's like missing your first class till you went to one class. So take advantage of that. We'll figure it out though. I have to mark you or not, because that's my job. But oh yeah, that's what we're doing today. It's cool. It's cool. Oh. Grab some. I gotta spray this in you. Again, I apologize. Something I gotta use.
Like
not doing this because I'm afraid of like getting in trouble or not doing it. Plenty of things I don't do. I am not afraid to get in trouble. Hi Geneva. I'm doing it because I want at the end of the day for this bottle to feel lighter than it did. Well, it's uncomfortable. I'll give them that. And what's frustrating for people, like I believe it, and it's because they're looking around and seeing other people not doing it. They're looking around and seeing a government that told them to stay home, but also at the same time you need money to live. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Right? They see the hypocrisy and they're like, what's the point? Like I walk into Iowa and I go to Target, God forbid, right? And nobody's wearing a mask. It's like, what's the point, right? Because it doesn't protect you, it protects others. I get it, man. And they suck. They do. And every other country in the world paid people to stay home, and they're done with it now, more or less. So I understand why people are like, why am I still doing this year? And they just kind of, give up on it. I understand. I don't agree, but I know where they're coming from. Like, it's very easy to start blaming individuals, people without power, people without, the full scope and knowledge of what's going on. And then every second we do that with our breaths, we're not blaming our government that knows fully well what's going on about new. You know what I mean? That's the difference. Yeah, I'm not trying to preach at you or anything. I just think like that's an important perspective that we don't talk about a lot, right? It's so easy to point and look at our neighbors because they're right there and call them out. You know what I mean? But honestly, like they're bigger fish to fry. Like when somebody doesn't like recycle, like yeah, that sucks and that's bad. Like you should, but at the end of the day, it's a speck compared to what like a lot of companies do, and they burn down forests and stuff. We got bigger fish. We all need to pull in together, but like honestly, we need to stop getting so mad at people that use straws versus companies that make them. Okay, so we're gonna do a fun game. It's called I Say Your Name, You Say Here. Joshua, Rowan, Max, Cliff, Nevaeh, Adam. So people online. Steven, are you here? I don't think I've seen you online yet commenting. If you could comment, Steven, that would be great. Mr. Zhang. Lindsay is here. Geneva, I saw you. Skylar, are you present? If you are, leave me a comment. Maddie, if you're present, leave me a comment. Carter, did you leave a comment? I don't think I saw you, but leave me a comment. And then we'll be good to go. So, Geneva, I got you. You're good to go. Geneva and Lindsay. Oh, this is itchy. Okay. Cool, and we are live. So the mic should be working. I turn them up a little bit because people don't like to talk as loud as I do, which makes sense because I talk way too loud. Carter's here. Rad. Fantastic. Fantastic. Guys, if I'm missing a comment or whatever, you guys can see that better than I can. Make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay? Help out your brother. All right, so still just waiting on Maddie and Skylar and Steven Zhang. I might need to make a phone call home for him. He's new. At least to the system as far as I'm aware. Okay, and he's doing full-time remote. Oh my God. I've told that having a beard makes it, or not having a beard actually makes it worse. But I don't know, man. I don't know. All right, so today we're going to bulbapp.com, which is the same thing we did yesterday. People online or people that were online yesterday that already did this, God bless you. Just chill. Okay, but I want to make sure that we get this taken care of at the beginning while we're able to be in person, okay? So I apologize for the repetition. So people online, hang on. I will do new stuff at the end, so if you want to hang on for that, that's great. Once you've checked in, I'm going to be honest. I can't make sure that you're here the whole time. I have no intention to make sure you're here the whole time. If you want to check out, go for it. But the thing is, Cliff, I don't know how much because you've been gone, right? This year we're not really doing grades in my class or homework. Are you aware of this? Were you there for that speech?
Well, the only
right, and it's not because I'm like, I know calculators. I mean, I am, but also like if I'm asking a question and the answer is 14, I'm not. I shouldn't be asking that. It's boring. We're still gonna like need answers more. You'll see. We're gonna do a portfolio. That's the bulb thing. So you're aware of that. That's the main thing. Like every week we'll meet and you'll be like, here's why I deserve an A because I wrote down all this stuff about what we did. It's completely up to you what you write down and what you don't. The more you do and the better quality it is, obviously the more standing you have to be like, and this is why I deserve an A. I don't like grades. I think they make you learn less, and don't challenge yourselves. Because you're like, why would I go above and beyond an A, right? Good point, right? When the whole point of learning, or the whole point of school is getting grades, you don't learn. So we're trying to get rid of those as much as possible. Anyway, bulb, as in B-U-L-B, like light bulb, app.com is where we're going. We're going to check that out right now. We're going to try and make it quick, and then we're going to get to some new stuff. I'm going to review what we did yesterday. Again, we're getting people tuning in. People online, like I was saying earlier, if you want to log off now, knock yourself out, because if you don't want to watch today and have that to be able to write about in your portfolio at the end of the week, that's your call, man, right? I would encourage you not to, because the more you have, the better, right? But if you already got like kick-ass stuff, good for you, right? You make the call. I'm not going to try and police you guys. Not into that. So you do you, right? Everybody is free to make their own choices, but you're not free from the consequence, right? Like, for instance, you want to say something because you have freedom of speech? Fantastic. But you are not free from somebody punching in the face for it, right? That's just the reality. Should they punch you in the face? We can talk about that. Like, that's how it is, right? You want to leave class right now because you hate it? Knock yourself out. But when the principal comes knocking and they ask, where's this kid? I'm not going to be like, oh, I'm going to tell them, like, they left. Not because I'm mean and trying to throw you in the bus, but I'm just going to be honest. So as long as we're cool with that, we're cool, right? You do you. Bullbat.com. Here we go. Inception. Woo! Sorry for no face cam today. I know it's the moneymaker, the reason you show up, the reason for the season. I will have it tomorrow, along with the soundboard, God willing, for our fully remote. Let me sign out. Okay. You should be here. Bulbapp.com, not bulb.com. That's different. Bulbapp.com. And you want to click on sign up. This website recently integrated with Google Classroom, which completely screws up the sign-up process, but should in theory make it more useful for me and you. So the sign-up might go a little weird. If you had trouble yesterday, just follow through. Everybody in class, are you here? You're here? Wonderful. Okay, cool. Anything that has a star by it, you have to fill out. I would also encourage you to do first, last, and email. So go to here and click student. Don't click teacher or anything. I don't think there's really any difference, but just, if you're a student, be a student. Type in first and last. Your email, please use your school email, because that's what's linked with Google Classroom. That's going to make the magic work, I think. Perhaps. Yep. I mean, worst case scenario, you can use your actual email, but if we can use school, that'd be better for lots of reasons. For username, please give me something that's going to make me understand you. So like Cliff would do like Cliff.Sawyer or Cliff Sawyer or Cliff S or something. You know what I mean? Whatever it is you have to do to make it so it's not already taken. I just need to know who you are, because when I'm grading stuff, when I'm looking at stuff, I want to know who's it is. Not, you know, King Crispy 11 or, you know, Hot Stuff 69. Gosh. All right. So type in your password, confirm password. That's your own business. Date of birth. Make sure you don't put 2020. Somebody did that, and then it asked for like a letter of consent to use the website because they were literally less than a year old. Don't do that. Institution name. Write down Morrison High School, or don't. I don't care. It doesn't have a star by it. Country. For the purposes of this exercise, you are from the United States of America. Prepaid promo code. Don't do it. We're not paying for anything. Yay, capitalism. I want resources and information to get started on Bulb. No, you don't. You do not want ads. Again, yay, capitalism. Click the I agree to terms of use and privacy policy. Yay, capitalism. And then you'll be able to create your account. Everybody online, we still here? We still doing okay? If you're not here, no worries. I'm still looking for Maddie Housingay and Skylar to be able to mark you here. Guys in here, you need to learn to cherish the silence and not fear it, because very little time will be spent with me not filling that silence. I'll try to be better about that. I like to yak. Most math classes silence me, ignoring me, and we're not answering questions. Smart kids. All good? Oh yeah, he's clicking off. Awesome, red. Already personalized it. I like it. That's good. Okay. People online, we Gucci. We good with this? Again, we are going to do new stuff at the end of class. We're going to zoom through this pretty quickly. Rest in peace, Zoom. Apparently it crashed yesterday for everybody in the United States. Who could have foreseen this coming? A relatively new company that had to, buy a bunch of servers really quickly when everybody decided to use it instead of Skype for some reason. Wouldn't be ready when everybody decides to use it all at once. Who could have foreseen? All right. When you get there, you should have a page that looks like this. I already filled out a little picture of myself, or a little Twitch badge for me. Does not exist in the real numbers is what this means. So when I'm not a real math teacher, my little logo. If you want to add a cover image, you can go here, and you can upload stuff that you've taken a picture of. So if you took a picture of a bunch of sunflowers, because you are a photographer this summer, now's your chance to shine. You can also go to the web search, and when it's working, Unsplash is a stock photo dump, so you can go in there and look up stuff. So sunflowers. Earlier it wasn't working. Yeah, the images aren't loading for some reason, but as you can see, I got 3,000 results. So you can use that to make your place look pretty. I would encourage you to make it look pretty because it's fun, and we're having fun this year. Right, Nevaeh? Awesome. Cool. You can write about who you are in 140 characters, so you can pretend this is Twitter. Create page, create collection. Collection's like a folder. Page is a page. So I created a collection, and I called it Thought Problems, because who doesn't have that? And I clicked on it. And I click on it, and it takes me to Thought Problems. And I talked about it down here, 99 problems. Are you getting the joke? Wonderful. Okay, so I wrote a little thing about 7 plus 7 equals 2. That was one of our first problems. And this is an example of what you would do in your portfolio if you wanted to write about it. Is this a great problem? No. Is it a better problem than most of the math problems you get in math class? I think so. And I wrote about it, and I said exactly that. So I went down here, and I put this in, and then I highlighted it and hit T, and put heading 3 to make it bigger than the rest of it. Okay? Put a little photo at the top, zoomed in a bunch so you can see all the pixels. That's what it's all about. Yeah. Oh, hold on, Josh, sorry. Not letting you sign in, so Josh still having trouble? Okay. I'm gonna leave this up here so you can see like what I wrote about and how. So if you want to get credit for innovative, is the only. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. By using your email. Right now. You want to go through that again? See? I'm going to keep going because I'm just reading through like what you might write. Okay. So I'll read this out loud even though it's kind of annoying. What might first seem like a mistake can lead to much more interesting thinking. I began class asking this question. This is the perspective of the teacher. I'm writing about your ideas. Well, it's not a very good one. It's a hell of a lot better than most questions I get asked in math class. After my students got past the fact that 7 plus 7 does not equal 2, here's what they came up with. What if the plus sign doesn't mean what we know it to mean? Perhaps it means we are to combine the 7s to make a 2. If we rotate one of the 7s 180 degrees, then overlap their stems, that produces a 2. And I gave you a little video. I did this on my phone like at 2 a.m. This is the greatest video you've ever seen. Put a little music behind it and it'll be the best TikTok of all time. You want me to erase that, but I refuse. Wow, everything is clear now. I would encourage you to use video and sound as much as possible because it helps illustrate your point. Just makes for a better portfolio. It's easier to show your understanding, right? And that's the whole point. Show your process, show your understanding. Alternatively, one might think that each 7 is its own idea or entity. One idea plus another idea makes 2 ideas. Or maybe those 7s aren't really 7s, but just badly drawn 1s. I got that a lot. Then again, if it's 7 o'clock and 7 hours pass, then it's 2 o'clock, right? You don't have to be as, tongue-in-cheek as I'm being right. Look, I found a clock that has 7 o'clock on it. What?
2020, and that's why I wouldn't sign in.
I thought of this one late at night. And if you wanted to, like, let's pretend that Rowan came up with this, right? So you could even write in, if it was someone else's idea, you could say that Rowan came up with it. So Rowan came up with 7 days plus 7 days equals 2 weeks, right? 7 plus 7 equals 2. If you cite them or not, I don't care. You're going to get credit for it regardless, whether it was your idea or not. If you're at home talking to family, friends, your brothers and sisters, whatever, about this problem, and they come up with an idea, write it down. There's no cheating in here. I'll be glad to know you're talking about it. Speaking of talking about it, down to the bottom, you can see that there's a place to write a comment. Leave me some memes. I don't know if you can post photo comments. Probably not. But if you have good memes, send them to me via email. The dankest of dank memes. Write a comment talking about the thing that they were talking about, right? Either ask a good question or answer a question of theirs. Move the conversation forward. As long as you're moving the conversation forward and not just being like, oh, you so pretty. And then, you know, the person goes, no, you know, because it's Instagram. And if you don't do that, you're not friends. You know, I'll count it as you doing something. Again, everything's made up of the points, don't matter, but I will count it for points at the end of the week for your portfolio if you are participating in conversation. Go to publish at the top to make it published. If you look, you can publish it publicly, which is what publish means, or you can just make it private, right? We'll give you a little link that you can share with just people. If you want to, you can send it to people through this publish little button. You can type in their username or whatever, and it'll allow you to send it to them. You can put it in different collections here, add little tags, so it's in my thought problems folder. If I also think it belongs in algebra, I can make an algebra folder or something, right? Organize your portfolio the way that makes sense to you. I get a little title and a summary. Down at the bottom, it says you can make it a template. So I might use this as an educator. You might use it too as students, but the main way I see to use it as an educator, I would have like, I want you to write about 10 things, right? I got 10 questions I want you to answer. What I do is I make a page on my portfolio, put the 10 questions on there, call it a template. And then you will be able to take that template and then answer those questions, right? It kind of makes it like a worksheet or whatever. But you guys might be able to use that as well. But anyway, hit publish and it'll be published. If you don't publish it before leaving, what'll happen is you'll get something like this. See how it doesn't have the I here or anything? It's not published currently, so it is a draft, kind of like Twitter, right? I don't know if you guys still use Twitter. You guys are all TikTok now. I'm always one step behind. It'll be a draft. So I started writing about a problem that we did yesterday online, 9, 16, 25, 43, which one does not belong. I want to talk about that now. Josh, are you doing okay? No, not at all? All right, I'll be there in just a second. I'm going to throw the problem up on the board of what we did yesterday, and we'll discuss it really quickly before getting to a new problem today. So for those of you online that are waiting for the good stuff to happen, it's on its way. When's he going to do something funny? I wrote these in the wrong order, but that's okay. At least I think it is. Okay, I'm going to help Josh. Which one doesn't belong is the question we had yesterday. If you remember stuff we said yesterday, feel free to say it again when I ask. Or if you can think of something new, great. Yeah, I sent you an email there. Check in your spam. I sent you a ton. Yeah, like. Do you? Yes. It's on my YouTube channel, Not a Real Math Teacher, 0aRmathteacher. Okay, so you can go there, but yeah, let me make a note. Josh will be there in just a second. I'm sorry, Josh. Struggling? Oh, right. Why won't let you log in? You're able to create a new account with new account. Yeah. What's different about this account from the last account? That's the only. Okay, well that's the problem. So create a new account and make. I think it's still waiting on that. Are you going to the link? Is that where you're sending them? Ooh, not so tough now. Hard remembering your birthday. Things are hard. It's hard. Anybody can make that mistake. Anybody. But the only person who did was you. Yeah, let's do that. I'll be your guardian. Not called. No. Who started that last year? Was it Schlaffer? I think so. Are you winning, son? Get off of this. Don't my secret. I know you don't already. Your secret stuff. All right, so Josh, did you send the thing to me yet or no? Okay, fill it out. All right, in the meantime, let's talk about this. So 1625, 943. Which one doesn't belong and why? Tickler. 9! What about 9? Ooh, 9's digits don't sum, right, add up to 7. So 1 and 6 make 7, 2 and 5 make 7, 4 and 3 make 7, 9 and 0, as many zeros as you want, right? Do not add up to 7. Nice job. Give me another one. What else you got? Yeah, Cliff. Ooh, not a multiple of 3. 25 isn't a multiple of 3. 9 is, right? But 25 is not. What about 16 and 43? No. Hey. No, you're fine. You're fine. You're not the first person to say that. In fact, that's a very common answer. So in this classroom, we are not looking for right answers or wrong answers. What we're looking for is interesting answers. 7 plus 7 equals 14. It's true, but is it interesting? What about 7 plus 7 doesn't equal 2, right? We had that problem yesterday and someone said doesn't equal 2. Is that interesting? No, because the conversation ends there. What Cliff said is good because then we can have a conversation about this, right? 16 isn't divisible by 3. You know how it's not? You know how to tell if a number is divisible by 3 or not? I'll teach you a trick, and I'll explain why it works later. I'm not big on tricks, but for now, if you take a number like 12, right? We know 12 is divisible by 3, right? If you add up its digits, you get 3, which means it's divisible by 3. 36 is divisible by 3. You know how I know it? Because 3 plus 6 is 9. Is 9 divisible by 3? Yes, so 36 is. 16 adds up to 7. So it can't be. Yeah. Now Cliff was wrong. He made a mistake. But we had, and it's not like touchy-feely, like, oh, but sunshine and rainbows, you're fine. No, I'm not doing that. Okay, that's not the type of guy I am. What I'm doing is that we had a conversation. We got to learn from that. Not just because we learned, oh, you made a mistake, right? You were wrong. Because that's like the big brain play most teachers do if they're like really touchy-feely, right? No, I'm not like that. We had to have a conversation about how you figure out if a number is divisible by 3. And we wouldn't have had that if you hadn't done that. Seriously. Guys, I'll tell you if you're being a dummy. I have no problem with that, okay? I will tell you you're being an idiot. That way you know when I say that I love you that I'm being sincere. right? That's the point. Every other teacher's like, oh, you're great, right? How do you know they're saying the truth? They'd say it to anybody. But your boy calls him as he sees him. You're great, Cliff. Yeah. Wonderful. We'll get to that in a second. Just relax for a while, Josh. Take a break, Josh. Rowan. Yeah, explain what you meant, though. Mm-hmm. We call those square numbers. You know why I call them square, right? Some people might be like 3 times 3 is 3 squared, right? 4 times 4 is 4 squared, or 4 to the second power, right? The reason they call it squared, and most people don't know this unless you've had my class, is that when you take 3 and you put it on a square, right? All the sides will be the same because it's a square, right? So it's 3 by 3, or area of 9, 3 squared. When you put 3 on a square, you get 9, 3 squared. 4 put on a square, well, 4 by 4, you get 16. They call it cubing because if you put it on a cube, you get this number, right? 3 cubed, 3 for the width, 3 for the depth, and 3 for the height. You get a volume of 27. Or 3 cubed, right? 3 squared is this, 3 on a square, 3 cubed, 3 threes, right? 27. That's where it comes from. Real quick, before we move on to another thing. If this was 3 feet, and this was 3 feet, okay? Double F, why did I do that? F in the chat. So, 3 feet. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 squared is 9, right? Anything times itself means squared, right? What's feet times feet, then? Four times 4 is 4 squared. 3 times 3 is 3 squared. 5 times 5 is 5 squared. What's feet times feet? Use the same logic. Say it again. 3 times 3 is 3 squared. Hi, Mitchell. 4 times 4 is 4 squared. Feet times feet must be. So that's 9 feet squared. Because we're talking about area. Now, before in math class, they just told you to always include feet squared when you're talking about area, right? I know, right?
I'm kind of blown out because always.
I know.
How do I see?
Yes, exactly. And again, the difference between you and the other kid, because you're going to be like, oh, I'm not good at math. I was dumb. I didn't know that, right? And the other kid's like, I already knew that, right? But the difference between you two is literally the one kid was told you write it like that and area is always square. And you're just like, I didn't know, right? It's very similar to this. I did this the other day. My grandfather's name. Do you know my grandfather's first name? No. Does that make you dumb? All right, now I'm going to tell you his name. His name is Herb. Does that make you smarter? No, it doesn't, but that's what school tells you. Because now I've told you something that you wouldn't have known unless someone told you. And now, look, you're smart. You have a piece of paper. You got a degree, right? No, you never learned how to think. Knowing something that you can't know unless someone tells you is not being smart. It's your first day. You're going to hate me later, okay? So, flattery will get you nowhere. So, the difference between you and that kid, right? He thinks he's real smart and you thought you were dumb because you weren't told this and the other kid was. But here's the thing. You're both dumb. You know why? Because you're never taught how to think. Why is it feet squared? Of course it is. How could it be anything else? 3 times 3 is 3 squared. 4 times 4 is 4 squared. Feet times feet is feet squared. X times X is X squared. Banana times banana is banana squared. Why do they call it squared? Well, because you put it on a square. And that's what you get. When you put 3 on a square, you get 9 feet squared for the area. 3 on a cube is 3 squared. 3 times 3 times 3 is 27. 27 feet cubed. Now, again, the big brain play, your teachers are like, oh, you got to include the unit. You got to have feet cubed or I'm going to take it off because you're not talking about volume. Look, okay, let's talk about something. Let's talk about pronouns for a second. So, if I'm having a conversation to you about Max, right? I don't have to use Max's name every single time. I can use he or him or whatever your pronouns are, right? You'll know what I'm talking about. As long as we're in the same loop, right? As long as I say Max originally and we know what we're talking about. As long as we have an understanding. I can use pronouns or whatever, and you'll understand what I'm talking about. If we're talking about watermelons, I don't need to say 10 watermelons. I can just say there's 10 of them, right? As long as we know I'm talking about watermelons. Your teacher wants you to write watermelons because otherwise they're going to take half off because if you don't write it on the test, you're going to screw up our test scores, right? I want you to write units if it shows understanding. If I already know you understand we're talking about watermelons, I could give a damn whether you write watermelons or not. Okay? I don't care about that. But if it shows understanding, if it can show that you understand where feet squared comes from and why we have feet squared, I want you to do it. Okay? That's the difference between this class and whatever you've been doing in the past. Okay? We are about understanding and learning here. And I mean that sincerely. Not because I'm big flowery sunshine and rainbows, but because literally it's the only thing that matters. And if I've got to do this class and I got to be here in the middle of the pandemic, damn it, we're going to learn something. We're not just going to memorize crap. Cool? Rad. All right, so thank you for letting me use you as an example. All right, so here we go. What else you got for me? You had your hands up. What else you got for me? Did I make you forget? Sorry. That's okay. If you want to write about this problem, go for it. I would write about it because like 10 months from now, you might come up with another reason. Right? You might be talking to somebody about, hey, you know. I don't know. I'd write about this one. I think it's a pretty good problem. And if you want to write about the pronouns thing and the metaphors I used, or if you've got your own way of doing it, if you want to talk metaphorically about math, you want to write me something that's not about the numbers, but about what they mean, how you see it, please do that. Please do. Or the experience you had in class, maybe, or whatever, right? Your first time having me as a teacher, everybody remembers their first time, right? That's the joke. Everybody remembers their first time. You want to write about that? Go for it. The problem I want to look at today, how much time we got left? Nothing?
Yeah.
Okay, we have no time left. We'll work on another problem next time, okay? I saw his email. Yep, I see it. Yep, he's good. First week, it's going to be treated like you went to the wrong class because you read your schedule wrong, right? Don't sweat it. Don't sweat it. Anyway, we didn't get to the problem I wanted today, but I think we touched on something that was important. A lot of things. I think we learned something. So I'm happy. I know. It's the best that I was able to find. If bulb sucks and you're like, I don't want to use it, if you come up with a better way to do this, by all means, be democratic and be like, hey, I want to do what I want, right? And I'll be like, sure, why not? Anybody opposed to them doing what they want? No, okay, great. Democracy wins, right? But I think that the bulb is the easiest thing that I could find. It's not perfect, but if you can find something better you're more comfortable with, go for it. That's the plan. I'll see you tomorrow online. Make sure you show up for the show. Do a little intro music. I encourage you to watch on Twitch if you have a computer at home or want to watch on your phone, because it has less delay. You get to use emotes a lot better. If you had to watch on YouTube, watch on YouTube. I think it's a shame. I think oftentimes we say, oh, they're not ready yet, right? But what are we doing to get you guys ready for the real world? But, the scary things, the R-rated movies. We don't. We just wait until you turn 18 or whatever.
Well, don't get on Twitch, but
yeah, exactly. And I'm not saying it's clean and fun and fancy free. I'm saying like, anytime we stop you from accessing something, we need to ask, okay, if they're not ready, what are we doing to get them ready? If we're not getting them ready, then what are we doing?
that is true. And it's just like, if you don't let them get on it, it's not like they're gonna be like, oh, I'm not gonna get on that.
It's a difference in philosophy. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just saying I think differently. But anyway, nice job today, kiddos. I'll try to talk less next time. My goal. Everybody online, thanks for hanging around. Sorry we didn't get to new stuff, but I think it was important anyway. Too bad we didn't have a face cam. Bye. Have a good one. I don't know what that means. Don't bring me any food drinks. Bye, Lindsay. Thank you for being here. It always is. Oh yeah. 4th hour now. We got a break. You guys wouldn't mind grabbing a napkin? Oh, fine. What?
Mitchell, it's 4th hour.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, a couple people are saying they aren't getting the emails. I'm going to go through and do that. I wrote down Nevaeh's name. I'll get you on there as well. Very sorry. Luckily, the first piece for you and for me, being treated like we just. Oh, I read my schedule. Hi, Jordan. Hi, Logan. Oh, Maddie. Maddie Banks. Blaisdell is here. It's 4th hour now, Mitchell. Let's do Tendy. Right, I say your name, you say here. Jamie. Gage. CJ. Andrew. Demery's absent today because she has dentist stuff going on, I think. And then Olivia might be at home. And then Lexi's here. Okay, so people in the chat. Logan is here. Troy, I haven't seen you yet. So give me a comment if you are. Maddie is here. Isaiah, I've seen you. Cooper, are you here? Ooh, Gina, I like your picture. Like oh, it's like colored pencils. That's cool. Anne, I haven't seen you yet. Zach Hall is here. Cooper, if you're here, Anne, if you're here, please let me know. Jackson Hudson, I have not seen you yet. Give me a heads up. Mitchell's here, Gina's here, Jordan's here. So I'm missing Troy. What?
Can I go see Miss Cook?
I don't know what you said, but sure. Cooper's here. Ann is here. Jackson's here. Or I'm sorry. Jackson, Ann, and Cooper and Troy are the people I'm missing right now. All right, so we're doing the same thing we did yesterday, but with a little bit at the end. So people that are checking in now, if you want to check in towards the end of the class, that's fine. I'll be honest, I cannot and will not try to make sure you're here all class if you're online. I have no interest in doing that. You do you. At the end of the week, if you have nothing to put in your portfolio, that's your own business, right? That's your own business. So you do you. But we will be doing new stuff at the end of class. At the beginning, oh, hi, Ann. We're going to bulbapp.com. So get on your Chromebooks and do that. Right, I know. That's why we're doing it. We're using the time we have to make sure everybody's up and running. And we're taking class slow. All right, so still missing Gage, Jackson, and oh no, Ann's here. Ann's here. Cooper and Troy. Olivia's here. Wonderful. I marked you here, Olivia. I don't know why I did that, but I'm glad you're here. Jordan, did you help Olivia find the stuff? Because if you did, I appreciate that. Olivia, if you figured that out on your own, I also appreciate that too. All right, so Lexi also needs the emails. In general, guys, 0aRmathteacher, either on Twitch or on YouTube will work. If it's on Twitch, you can watch me on my main account, which is 0aRmathteacher, but then that one got too big last year, so I had to make a second account, 0aRmathteacher_2, which is where I had to do my main streaming, but I stream. I mirror it to the main account as well. Yeah, I know you've been here. Right, are the people in the seats on bulbapp.com? Yeah? Okay, get there if you're not. I'm going to walk you through it. We're going to talk about what it looks like. Because remember, this is going to be the #1 thing you're quote-unquote graded on this year. That's how we're doing it. Again, I'm not going to try and police you. I don't believe in doing that. Whether you're here or not, saying you're here at the beginning is enough for me. Because then I can mark that you were. I'm not going to, be like checking in every minute or be like, the word of the day is blue hat. And if you don't know what blue hat is, if you don't know the word of the day, you'll be marked absent, or whatever. I'm not doing that. Not doing that. Sorry there's no face cam today. I left my camera at home. I'll have it for tomorrow. I will, God willing, have the soundboard up and running tomorrow for class. Make it a little more fun. I think tomorrow we'll try and get Discord up and running for those of you that want to use it and be able to like have your voice come out of my speakers. Now the beauty of that is not only can you talk out of the speakers during class, but you can, you know, tune into Discord anytime you want and have your voice come out of my speakers, which I think is fun. What's up, Lexi? We're on Bulb. BulbApp.com. Right. Like your shoes. Tight.
Thanks.
Solid black, that's dope. Alright, so I'm gonna flip over now to Bulb. Bulb. Fast and bulbous. The Frank Zappa song. I need to look that up. Boop. Alright, let me log out. Ooh, somebody did something on Bulb recently. I got a notification about it. Oh, thanks, Jackson. Jackson, are you here? You know, he did it 4 minutes ago. We're gonna count that you're here for class. I don't know what's going on with you, bud, but we gotta get you figured out. Pull up the picture. Busy. Hudson starts with H. Hudson. Awesome. Save it at the end of class to make. Boop. Okay. I'm signing out. If you go to bulbapp.com, you'll be here. And it'll give you an option to log in or sign up. What you want to do is sign up. Again, this website recently. Oh my. That's so itchy. This website recently combined with, merged with Google Classroom, which should make it easier for us and better for us. But it also makes the sign-up process a little weird because I'm not super familiar with how they want us to do it because it's relatively new. So bear with me. Go to sign up. You'll get the spinny wheel of death. And if you're lucky, this will pop up. What you want to do is not click any of these. You'll want to go down here and go to your role and go to student. And then you got first name, last name, email, all that good stuff. Please use your school email because that is what is linked to Google Classroom. I think it'll make it well. For your username, please do not do something that I will not know you by. So if you put, hot stuff 69, I don't know who that is, okay? I don't know who that is. Please put something that I'm going to know, like Lexi W or Lexi Wilkins or Lexi.Wilkins. If you're Lexi Wilkins, don't one of you put Lexi Wilkins if you're not. Okay? I used to do that when we'd have meetings at my one school. I'd pretend to be the art teacher, Mr. Reeb. The man was like 90. And we'd be in meetings, and you were supposed to submit them through text or whatever if you had questions. I don't know why. We could have just raised our hands. There were like 12 of us. But our principal wanted to be all cool and high-tech. So I'd pretend to be Mr. Reeb, and then I'd ask like the silliest questions. Are you my grandson? Where's the login? I'm lost. They never caught on. I shared a room with him. He was the art teacher. I was the music teacher. Password's up to you. Date of birth, for the love of God, do not put you were born this year. Someone did that, and then they had to get a parent consent form to be able to use the website because they're under the age of 1, right? Don't do that. Josh Morris had to send a letter to me, basically calling me daddy and asking me to give him consent. I do not want that happening, okay? I don't want to use that phrase. Did you hear what I just said? He sent me a form asking for consent, calling me daddy. Yeah, no, okay? I know. I know. And I had to agree to it. So please, make yourself older than 1 so I don't have to get one of those forms. Fantastic. Love it. If you have a smartphone, you can try getting on there and doing stuff. Yeah, please, not 2020. You were born in whatever year you were born. Please don't screw that up. You can type it. Y'all know how to make a TikTok, but can't type on a computer. All right, country. For the purposes of this exercise, you will be from the United States of America. It says prepaid/promo code. Don't write that. We're not buying anything. We don't need a promo code. It's all free. Yay, capitalism. You message me on Discord? Okay, I will pull up my Discord. Your message. Okay, that's fine, Olivia. Go to Bulb app and see if you can get set up, and then message me on Discord. I'll watch. Cool? No, for the purposes of this exercise, we are all from the United States of America. It has a little box for I want resources and information. You don't. That's just ads. Again, yay, capitalism. You what? The username? Institution name. Oh, you can write Morrison High School or nothing. It doesn't matter. Howdy indeed. What? Gauge. You don't have to put in any institution. It's fine. It's up to you. If it doesn't have a star by it, you don't have to do it, but I do want like your first name, last name, and email. Don't worry about that. We're not buying anything. Yay capitalism. Don't check the next box. Yay capitalism. Agree to terms and use of policy, privacy policy. You do want to click that because yay capitalism. And then click create account. I'll check the butts and the seats to make sure they're all right. People at home that are chilling on the couch. If you have any questions, you can message me on Discord or on YouTube or Twitch, whatever works for you, okay? Oh God, what happened? Thanks. I need to change that. I need to change that.
Look at your glasses.
Got him. God, girl. Put together. You know what's that? Right. Yeah, he's my boy. Ah! No. I don't have friends. Stop lying. Ow. You're sure you're not just referring to yourself? It works every time. It works every time. And they're like, damn it. Got me here again. Like, that's right, bullies. Back off. I got a Charizard. Holographic. First edition. My mom let me bring my Pokemon cards to school. So watch out! Are we good? Are we on both apps? Are we good?
Do I end this?
What? Oh, because you're on your, yeah. You're good. You're Gucci. It's showing you around. It's showing. Oh, thank you. Yikes. Yikes. Don't limit yourself. Okay? Don't limit yourself. Dream big, okay? Dream big. Hey, that's right. Ellie? Yes, what? We'll call on you, I swear to God. Have to answer. Are we all Gooch? We Gucci? Hi. So funny this. You're so funny.
But I didn't have.
Do it. Do it. Do it. We need that on the soundboard. Do it. Right. People at home, I'm guessing you're having less issues than the people in class. This is the B-day, right? She's sick today. Or had not sick. She had to go. She had to. What? Oh yeah, just leave. Right, you're there. You're there. Yeah. Right. All right, looks like everybody in the seats is good to go. So, after you do this and you hit create account, what'll happen is you'll get a screen that looks like not this one, but this one. Okay, it's cool. So it has my name. I put a little badge on there. That's my Twitch badge. The E means exists in, and the slash through it means does not exist, right? And then the R, that's like bold, means the real number set, so it means not real. Not a real math teacher, because I don't actually have a math degree. You'll see it says create page, create collection. You can also add a cover image. So if you're a photographer and took a picture of sunflowers this summer, like the individual person you are, go to web search, and you can search for a picture of sunflowers if you didn't take a picture. I got 3,000 results, and this website comes with a free stock image subscription. So there's really high quality images that you can grab from here. You just can't see them because my computer won't load them for some reason. I don't know why. Okay, so you can make your page look pretty using your own images or the stock images from Unsplash. You just got to go to the web search part. Okay. No, I did earlier. It's been like that all day. Then you can go down here and create a page or create a collection. A collection is basically just a folder, okay, for organization purposes. So I created a collection because this is my main page. I want to make folders. And I called my first folder Thought Problems because everybody's got them. And if you click it, you can see all my thought problems. I have 99. Thought problem. Thought problems. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Jamie, we're going to get along just fine. All right, so anyway, I made 2 different pages. Pages are where you actually put your information, right? So you have folders, and then you have the things you put in them. So I made a page. I made 2. This one right here is published, so people can see it, and it tells me how many are seeing it. This one is not published yet, so it's like a draft, like on Twitter. I don't know if you guys use Twitter at all anymore. You guys are all on the TikTok now, before it gets banned. You're on Twitter? Everyone should be. It is an excellent source of all things great and evil. It is. Yeah. Once the Tumblr kids joined, it hits different, but that's okay. All right, so here's my first page. When does 7 plus 7 equal 2? I decided to write about it because I wanted to. Again, everything we do in class, you can write about. Even stuff that we talk about, that isn't necessarily math, okay? You can write about. I would prefer it to be about math for you to be able to justify this is why I deserve an A. If you just wrote about the conversation we had about thought problems, right? I don't think that's good enough to argue that I should deserve an A in this class, right? But you can write about whatever you want. So here's what your page might look like. I put in a little header. I found an image and I zoomed in a ton so you can see all the pixels because that's like top-notch photography trip. Pro move. Gave it a little title. I wrote something here, and then because I wanted this to be like a title for it, I made it bold. And if you click the T, you can change whether it's heading 1, heading 2, or heading 3. That'll change how it looks, right? How big it is. So here's what I wrote about the 7 plus 7 equals 2 problem. This is kind of what I want from you guys. It doesn't have to be exactly like this. It doesn't have to be as cute, right? But this is what I want. I want good writing, okay? So it says, what might first seem like a mistake can lead to much more interesting thinking, right? And that's the idea behind this, okay? I began class asking this question. Well, it's not a very good one, referring to the 7 plus 7 equals 2. Well, it's not a very good one. It's a hell of a lot better than most questions I get asked in math class. After my students got past the fact that 7 plus 7 does not equal 2, here's what they came up with. What if a plus sign doesn't mean what we know it to mean? Perhaps it means we are to combine the 7s to make a 2. If we rotate one of the 7s 180 degrees and then overlap their stems, that makes a 2. So this has a thing where you can put in a video, and you can make it right in here. You don't have to like do it on a separate video maker. I did this on my phone at like 2 a.m. This is amazing. Look at this. I have the 2 7s. I erase them. And then watch. And you want me to erase that, but I'm not going to. Because I'm an independent thing. And look, it's a 2. Everything is clear now. I would encourage you to use video and sound because it makes it easier for you to explain your thinking. And that's the whole point, right? If writing isn't your thing, make a video. Record your voice. So for instance, if I go to the bottom of this paragraph and hit enter, immediately this appears. Video, image, file, audio. Put in whatever you want. Or just keep typing, right? If I hit audio, I can go here and grab stuff that I already have pre-recorded, but I can also go down here and record audio and record right from my mic, like you can on your Chromebook or your phone. So you can talk me through something, okay? I would encourage you to use that feature. Down further, I said, alternatively, one might think that each 7 is its own idea or entity. One idea plus another idea is 2 ideas. Or maybe those 7s aren't really 7s, but are just badly drawn 1s. Or maybe it has to do with the clock, right? We talked about that, right? And I put a little picture of a clock. It even has it at 7 o'clock. That's worth 1,000,000 points. 1,000,000 extra credit points. Yeah, all of you look up now, right? Everything's made up of the points don't matter in here. But I included a picture of a clock to go with this. Again, that's a stock image. One of my students suggested that we have 7 plus 7, so it's 2 7s, so it equals 2, where 3 7s would equal 3. And then I came up with this, but if somebody else did, like pretend Lexi came up with this brilliant idea. She said, wait a minute, when does 7 plus 7 equal 2? It's when we have 7 days plus 7 days equals what? 2 weeks. So I could write that Lexi came up with it here, like, oh yeah, Lexi came up with this in class, or you can just take it for your own idea. I don't care. Either way, you're going to get credit, even if you credit her. And I put a little picture of a calendar. Now at the bottom, as you'll see, we have a little comment box. Okay? This will allow you to like someone's post, you know, write something like, you so pretty, and then they'll like, no you, right? If you want to do that, that's great. If you want to write something that actually moves the conversation forward, whether it's asking a good question or answering a question or making a good comment about the subject at hand, I will give you credit for that when we review at the end of the week of what you did, right? So if you want to add on another idea to their post about 7 plus 7, go for it. If you want to ask a question to them, go for it. That'll count towards your grade, okay? When you're done with it, go up to the top and click Publish. When you do so, it'll ask you where you want to publish it to. Public, private link, whatever. You can also send it to specific people. So for instance, Jamie might be like, you know what? I just made a great post. I think this could help you out. So I'm going to send it to you, Lexi. That way you can comment on it and get some points, right? She wants to help brother out, right? She can send it directly to you. But you can also do a private link, so only people with the private link can view it. So if you just want me to view it, right? That's a way to do it. If it's something personal. You can add it to different collections, right? Different folders if you want here. I have it in my thought problems folder. If I also think it belongs in algebra, I could put it in an algebra folder or something. At the bottom it says, save this as a template. So what that means is you can make the page a thing that other people can copy. So if you've got a really good idea and you want other people to work with it, you can make a template. What I see it being used as is me making a page. And maybe I'll have like 10 questions on it. And then I'll click make a template and publish it. That way you guys can copy that page and then answer those 10 questions, right? But when you're done, hit publish. And now it's visible by everybody. If you don't hit publish and you exit out, it'll ask you if you want to save it as a draft. You'll say yes, and then it'll appear like this guy right here, right? Unpublished. Questions on bulb. Bulb. We feeling okay about this? I don't think it's the easiest program in the world, but it is the easiest one I could find. If you find something better that you want to use, knock yourself out, okay? But this is the best I could find, and I think it's pretty good. Feeling okay? This is like the main thing we're doing this year. Do you have to write about everything we do in class? No. The more you write and the better that writing is, and I want to emphasize on better over more, right? Quality over quantity. The better your grade will be, the better you'll learn, right? So if you don't like the 7 plus 7 equals 2 problem, don't write about it. But maybe you will like it later, so it's good to kind of make a note of it, right? Maybe like 2 months later, you'll be like, oh my God, I thought of an answer, right? If you don't write it down, it won't happen. I wrote one for the problem we did yesterday online, the 9, 16, 25, 43 problem. Which one doesn't belong? Let's take a look at that right now, because I want to talk about that a little bit more. And then we'll go on to a new one for those of you that are waiting for new stuff to happen. So, 9, 16, 25, 43. No laughing in math class. That was definitely worth doing. All right, so nerds. Which one doesn't belong and why? If you watched the stream yesterday, you might have reasons that you remember. You can tell me those. That's not cheating. No cheating in here. Okay? If you go home and talk about this problem with your parents and they come up with a cool idea, write about it. If you go home and talk it with your brothers and sisters and they come up with an idea, write about it. There's no cheating. Your friend came up with one, there's no cheating. Write it down. Which number doesn't belong and why? People playing along at home, you may participate as well. People in class, the onus is on you to move this forward, though. Which number doesn't belong and why? You can give me a reason that you came up with or one that you remember from the other day. And I'll give you time to think. We're to do a new problem at the end of class, God willing. We also might not. Don't be afraid. There are no wrong or right answers. I mean, there are, but we don't care about that. You can end up being wrong, that's fine. What we want are interesting and non-interesting. 7 plus 7 equals 14 is not interesting. It's true, but it's not interesting. I'll get to that in a second. Zach, thank you for posting. 7 plus 7 equals 2 is wrong, but it is much more interesting, right? Because now we can talk about when would 7 plus 7 equal. So don't worry about wrong or right. Worry about interesting or not interesting. If it's interesting to you, point it out. DJ, do you have something to say? 16 is the only even number. Yep. 16 is even. Zach, you said every number but 9 adds up to 7. So what he means by that, because I've heard this in a bunch of classes now, and this is one of my favorite ones. Look at 1 and 6, right? They add to 7. 2 and 5, 7. 4 and 3, 7. 0 and 9, right? Or as many zeros as you want. Not 7. No, you're good. Zach, you did fine. 9 doesn't sum its digits to 7. That's what makes 9 different. One of the reasons. If you see more reasons for 9 or 16 not to belong, that's cool. I do want to challenge you. No one has found a good reason for 25. The only one I can think of, and I used to know an actual one, but the only one I can think of is that it's the only number funnier than 24, right? SpongeBob quote. That counts. Don't be afraid of silence in here. Cherish it. There's very few times where I won't be talking because loudmouth. Trying to get better. Normally in math class, when people are silent, it means they're ignoring me or they don't know what to answer and they're waiting for the smart kid to raise their hand. And here, it's just time to think. And I would encourage you to do it. Which one doesn't belong and why? And don't be afraid of being wrong. There's no penalty. Take a stab at it. If you end up being wrong, that's fine. Let's have a conversation. You're not afraid of being wrong. That's when we come up with new, interesting ideas. Stuff I haven't heard of before, because I use this problem a lot. Like I said, 25 is kind of hard. Does 43 feel weird to you guys compared to the rest of them? Yeah? Why does it feel weird? Can you put that into words? Maybe you can't do it mathematically, but like, why does that feel weird? Can you give me more or no? Okay, Olivia. That works for me. Here's a reason for 9 again. 9, like Jamie, is single. I mean, 9, like Jamie, 9 out of 10. Easily. I got you. What? I love that. So many people say that, and I wonder why. Anybody have a counterpoint to it? Don't feel bad about this, okay? I'm going to have a conversation about it. And that's good. We want to have conversations. We weren't doing anything before, okay? He says it's the only number that's divisible by 3. True. Can't divide 16 by 3. You know how you know you can't divide 16 by 3? There's a trick. If you take the digits and add them together, so like 12 is divisible by 3, yeah? Right? If you take the digits and add them together, what's 1 plus 2? 3. Is 3 divisible by 3? Then 12 is. 36 is divisible by 3. You know how I know? Because 3 plus 6 is 9. Is 9 divisible by 3? Yeah, right? 3 times 3 is 9. So 36 is divisible by 3. 16, we get 7, right? Not divisible by 3. So here's my counterpoint. You're right. It is the only number that's not divisible by 3. Isn't 25 the only number divisible by 5? Isn't 43 the only number divisible by 43? Isn't 16 the only number divisible by 16? What you said was true. And it was important because it led to a conversation which made it interesting. But on its own, it's not that interesting, I don't think. At least in my opinion. Because again, what's special about 107? Well, it's the only number divisible by 107, you know, on here, if I had 107 on here, right? But it's true. But we did learn how to check if a number is divisible by 3. Like 111, divisible by 3? Yeah, 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 3. So this must be divisible by 3. All the numbers appear here at 7 and 8, right? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's no 7 and 8. There's the 9. Good point. Wasn't answering my question, but it answered a question. I like that. Just because I ask a question doesn't mean you have to answer it. Huh? Yeah. We're here to think. That shows thinking. I noticed that too. I think last class, I probably noticed it last year too, but last class was the first time I noticed it this year. Why does 43 feel weird? I like how you were thinking about divisibility. Good. It's always something I check. Another way to ask the question is, what makes 3 numbers the same? Right? What patterns can you find? I would encourage you to take this home and ask your friends, family, etc. about it. Still have not found a good one for 25. Good? Yeah, you were. Jeez. Snap your neck. Last year, someone made a meme page. All the things I do in class, they'd like secretly video me or take pictures, which normally would be creepy. I guess it was still creepy. They post them online. They gave up after the second week, though. I hope you guys will do. I never caught who it was, though. Howard. Too afraid to get caught. One of the things last class pointed out, normally I don't try to give you guys answers because I like to let you guys think. What do you notice about 9, 16, and 25? If you guys can guess what I'm thinking about. Not because it's the right answer, but because it's another one. What do you notice about 9, 16, and 25? What do they all have in common? What? Oh, what's up, Danny? Danny Mao, everybody. Danny, were you in charge of my meme page last year? I was telling people about it. I will mark you as present. We're doing this problem. Danny, which one doesn't belong and why? Guys, we're going to get people coming in from Europe and all kinds of stuff because I'm on Twitch. So, if you're worried about Danny being the worst person to interrupt us, I got bad news for you. There's a million of Dannys out there. Some of them are even taller. In fact, most of them are. Love you, D-Money. Oh, bye. Bye, Ann. Yeah, CJ, take it. Take a guess. Okay, what do you think? Check it out. 9 is divisible by 3, 6 is divisible by 3, 3 is divisible by 3. This doesn't have a digit that's divisible by 3. Well done. I think that's one of the ones I thought of a couple years ago, but I haven't thought about it in a long time. Well done. All right, get to your next class, guys. Yeah, buckets. Kobe. All right, I'll see you guys online tomorrow. I'll make sure to have the face cam on. Make sure you're on YouTube or Twitch, okay?
Oh, can you send me the...
I will, yeah. I'm going to send you and Nevaeh an email.
Okay.
The YouTube, I sent you an email that should have it on there, but it's this. So let me write down my YouTube name. 0aRmathteacher. And it should be a live stream. So look for that. Later, man. Take care. All right, guys, I'm off for the day. That's my last class. My next class is study hall, and then we've got early dismissal. So